President Biden is set to deliver his State of the Union address today. Later, a preview from Capitol Hill as he prepares his speech to Congress and the nation. Plus, a new high school is coming to Pine Bluff. However, the district's temporary campus needs renovations before classes can be held. And a monumental leap for the Argenta Community Theater. Later, look at their big rebranding and how it's going to help get actors paid. Hello, and thank you for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. The big talker today is the rain, of course. Meteorologist Nathan Scott is joining us, and we've been tracking this rain since this morning, consistently coming down since the a.m. Nathan, how much longer will this stick around?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. Yes, it was a soggy start to our Thursday, as expected, and also as expected, a lot of the rain is starting to move out across parts of the region. But the clouds are locked in place. Those clouds and the rain keep the numbers down quite a bit into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Here's the radar loop right now. You can see a lot of the rain has now exited primarily just to the north and east of Little Rock. But there's still some bands of heavy rain down the landscape into parts of Pulaski County, Lonoke County, and then also into Conway County, along with Pope County. But we'll see, I think, some significant dry time, at least for a few hours this afternoon, before that rain into Oklahoma and Texas starts to make its way back into the natural state. So here comes round two later this afternoon, but especially this evening. Expect more shower and thunderstorm chances to be going up. Also out there today, we do have a 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. Mostly it's just because some storms could produce hail. The risk of severe weather goes up for everybody on Friday. I'll let you know what the potential is with that event coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. President Biden will deliver his third State of the Union address tonight. It is a big opportunity for him and maybe his best chance for a fresh start with voters as he addressed one of his biggest audience of the year. Skylar Henry has the latest from Washington.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Biden delivers his third State of the Union address to the nation tonight, which could be his biggest audience before the November election.
This is a chance for the president to talk about the strides that our economy has made under his leadership, adding more jobs than any president ever.
The president also will be looking for support addressing key issues, urging Congress to restore the expanded child tax credit for low and middle income families and to cap out-of-pocket prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year for anyone with private insurance. Voters, of course, have mixed feelings about what to expect tonight.
I don't agree with any of his policies, so.
I think he's doing a terrific job with the economy.
As Biden works to show he has the policies and fight in him for a second term, his likely challenger in November says he'll be watching the speech closely.
Former President Trump is promising to do a live play-by-play of the State of the Union address. He also says he's willing to debate the president, in his words, anytime, anywhere.
America is at a breaking point.
And ahead of his first State of the Union as House Speaker, Mike Johnson released a video criticizing, among other things, the Biden administration's immigration policies.
It is a catastrophe, a humanitarian catastrophe, a national security catastrophe, and it was done by design.
Alabama Senator Katie Britt will give the official Republican response. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And as mentioned in that story, former President Trump is challenging President Biden to a debate, as he said, anytime, anywhere. However, he's yet to debate anyone so far this campaign cycle. Super Tuesday has passed, but it's still a call for action for Arkansas voters. In the next couple of weeks, there will be several runoff races. Now, voters are expected to make a final decision on April 2nd. There are several races with more than 2 candidates, and with no one getting more than 50% of the vote, those races will go off to a runoff election. A representative for the Arkansas Secretary of State tells us if you voted either Democrat or Republican primary, you must vote the same in the runoff. However, if you are registered and did not vote, Arkansas rules say you can vote in whichever partisan primary runoff you wish, meaning you can vote Republican, Democrat, or Libertarian. In the THV 11 update, there's a new plan to improve maternal health in Arkansas. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed an executive order yesterday to establish a new group focused on this issue, as she says Arkansas has the highest maternal death rate in the nation. It's called the Arkansas Strategic Committee for Maternal Health. The governor says the plan focuses on 4 points: increasing access, improving education, improving maternal health, and improving statewide coordination. And this new group is already getting started.
Healthier moms mean healthier babies. If women aren't in contact with a healthcare provider through the duration of their pregnancy and in the months after, they are at greater risk for complications.
The committee plans to give the governor an update of its plan's effectiveness within the next 6 months. However, you can find more details about the plan on our website. That's thv11.com. And another update, Governor Sanders is proposing a brand new $6.3 billion budget. It marks just a 1.76% spending increase from the previous year's budget. That comes out to about $109 million. Around $100 million of that is associated with the governor's education overhaul last year with Arkansas Learns. And more specifically, $65 million is dedicated to the school voucher initiative. Governor Sanders' proposal does not include any additional income tax cuts. Meanwhile, state workers are receiving a welcome letter from the governor this week about their pay and for potential future raises. State workers have been concerned about the system of performance-based pay increases based off surveys from management. But the governor promised to ask lawmakers to revamp that system next year. However, in the meantime, every state government worker is getting a one-time 3% raise, and if their rate isn't there yet, every state employee will make at least $15 an hour. That temporary plan will need approval in the fiscal session in April. Pine Bluff is one step closer to a brand new high school. However, the district faces a challenge. While working towards building a new high school, leaders have to decide where 800 students will go in the 2 years it will take to build it. The problem? Their temporary campus needs renovations of its own. But in order to make room for the students will need to go back to the old school using the now closed Jack Roby Junior High building. Last month, Pine Bluff School District voted on a new academic calendar that will give them shorter summers, so they have less time to make those renovations at Jack Roby.
It makes it where the work needs to go very quickly. So that was why it was very important to go ahead and move forward at the board meeting, where the board voted to put out for bid some different construction work at Jack Roby.
While Jack Roby may be a little smaller than the current high school campus, school leaders expect to have more than enough room given the current PBHS enrollment numbers. A new milk bank depot is now open at National Park Medical Center in Hot Springs. It's part of a collaboration with UAMS Milk Bank to set up new local venues for breast milk donations. The Hot Springs facility is another push towards improving infant health care by simplifying the donation process. It's also expected to save the state more than $1 million a year by localizing vital services. The Argenta Community Theater is ushering in a new era with a new name and a rebranding. Its new name is Argenta Contemporary Theater. The announcement coming last night, and this month marks 15 years since it opened. The theater looked back at its history while discussing the bright future it hopes to bring to North Little Rock.
It is amazing when we started around 15 years ago and had President Clinton here with Mary Steenburgen, and we had 1,200 people in that parking lot across the street under a tent. And it is amazing what's happened since then.
Speaking of the new logo, you saw that it features a bright light representing the vision of our founders, illuminating forward, encapsulating the theater's vibrant new direction. And we think that new direction will send us on into the future.
The theater says this next step also helps them move to a semi-professional level where they can begin to offer actors small stipends. America's teens aren't getting nearly enough sleep. Coming up, a look at how this is taking a toll on their mental health. Nathan?
And Jurnee, it's a great day to stay in bed with all the gloomy conditions. Here's our view 11. The clouds trying to lift somewhat. This is about 500 feet above the ground, so that's why we're stocked in with the clouds. But those clouds are still producing some rain across parts of the region. I'll have a live look at radar and talk about your severe weather potential on your Friday coming up.